What is up, everybody? Brett here, and I'm back for our Battle Brothers Beasts and Exploration DLC Let's Play. Alright, we're picking up where we left off last time at day 123 in the evening. And we are encamped outside of our current objective, which is to secure the cemetery, Rattling Bones Crypt. I would really expect there to be some type of undead here. That's kind of their MO. They're sitting in the swamp, so I think it's going to be a swamp battle, which can either be super long and grindy, or we can take some tactical advantage in our favor. We'll see how that shakes out. But we're encamped because, guys, that last fight, that whole last episode, really, I hope you enjoyed that. I enjoyed playing it. Those were some of the closer calls that I've had in recent memory. The Lindworm destroyed all of our armor. If you watched the last episode, you already know we went through like 3 stacks of tools to get our armor back up to par to take on this fight. Probably not worth it. I mentioned that I would look off camera and check out and see what some of these crafting ingredients were. The Shimmering Ashes and the Lindworm Blood. So when it comes to the Lindworm, this was probably the worst crafting item that the Lindworm could have dropped. The blood is only useful, as far as I know, in one crafting. What would you call that? Like it's an ingredient that only works in one recipe. Let's call it a recipe. That's a good thing. So it makes poison. It makes like an acid that eats away at enemies' armor. It's very similar to what the Lindworms themselves do, but I think it's a 2 times accelerated rate, if not a 3 times. So the Lindworm eats away 10% armor over 3 turns. I think this does 20 or 30%. So it's powerful. It makes a very powerful armor destroying acid, but it's also extremely expensive, and we could probably sell it for decent money. I wish that wasn't the case. I wish this was either the scales or I think their bones. Make really awesome stuff. But anyway, the Shimmering Ashes are also great crafting ingredients. They make slightly more things, and we actually have what we need to make one of the more powerful recipes that they offer. The Shimmering Ashes plus the parched skin plus the witch's hair makes runes, which we can apply to a great set of armor, and we can make that particular character extremely resistant to, hexen type effects, or I think sleep as well. Those type of effects that character will be very resistant to. I'm not sure if it kind of supersedes the mail that's been placed on here, if it's just like another bonus added effect. I would have to maybe look that up and see, but we have what we need to make that. It just costs a couple 100 crowns, and we can do it. Otherwise, there's one more thing. I think some sort of potion that you can make with the Shimmering Ashes. So I think we're going to keep maybe 3 of these and sell off 2 others, and we might make 1 of the Lindworm Blood acids, and then I think we'll sell the other for decent crowns, as well as getting rid of just a few of our other crafting ingredients. We're pretty well stocked up, considering how little crafting we're actually getting to do. Okay, what else is on my list of things to do? Oh yeah, okay, before we get started, the subscriber, I think your name is Jacob. I appreciate all your support, man. Your comments have been hilarious to me over the last few days. So originally, I think you wanted to name your guy the Brigand Pounder, right? Because you were smashing brigands in one of our episodes. Then it was like, you know what? Maybe just the Pounder. And I came in here and I kind of like was messing with the name to see what would fit. And I was like, the Pounder. And I was kind of thinking to myself, and I was like, that's a little sexual. I don't know. I don't know if we can name a guy the Pounder. Makes sense. He's got a hammer. If anyone's going to be the Pounder, it's going to be this dude. And I was really wishing I had some kind of like video editing skills that I don't possess. Basically just to allow me to, every time he hits someone with a hammer, I could play something like Bounce Chicka Wow Wow, something like that. I thought that might be funny. Anyway, but after, the last episode, he managed to get a smash on a dragon, and Jacob mentioned, what about like Dragon Pounder or the Dragon Pounder? And I was like, you know what? I think Dragon Pounder sounds pretty sweet. I don't know if there's anything else in the game that's going to be, more worthy of this title for having slain it with a hammer. So there you go. I christened the Lance Glenfield Dragon Pounder, and enjoy, because that's pretty ridiculous. Okay. Anything else? I think that just about covers it. Okay. Let's go ahead and get in on this fight. We can honestly wait a bit. I don't want to engage them at night. I think we're barely going to make it in, and we will. Okay. Men taking jewelry. And let's get in there and see what we're up against. What kind of terrain we're fighting on. Okay, so we're on the swamps. 21 enemies. Not quite the 24 that we need. But these are all unarmored. Interesting. So very easy targets for us at this stage in the game. I think what we're going to want to do is try and control this flat, easy ground. And we're going to do that at the expense of our first turn. We want to get our brothers out of the swamp area. I think we can move back there. We need to make room. It's kind of like sitting in a cafeteria. Everybody's got to slide down. Okay, we'll wait there for a second. We need these guys to move first. We'll move up with Lance, and we're going to get Hondo out of here as soon as we can. Yeah, we need to expect them to move. They're going to be very cautious. The AI doesn't like to move in the murky water, because you can see here the debuffs. It costs extra fatigue to move through, and it provides really bad stat decreases. So what I would like to do, I wish there was some ground here we could get into. Either way, let's move out of the way here. Let's move up in the front. Okay, can we move one more? We can. So I think we will. We need to make as much space as possible on the higher ground. We could also hide in the reeds here. It's a pretty decent tactic. The tall grass. If we were up against some kind of force that had lots of ranged weaponry, we could duck off into the grass and try and hide ourselves. Okay, we've sufficiently made space, I believe. It's just going to be rough getting out of the water that we're in pretty deeply. Yeah. Next turn. Next turn we should be fine. Yeah. Okay. If we can't get Hondo, out so that he can trigger his lone wolf, then we need to just keep him tucked in. So right now we can't really see anything. We could use our hawk to reveal the entire map. I think we will. What are we up against? Is this all of them? Yeah, that's all of them. Okay. Nice hit. Yeah. No, I'm surprised. This is a pretty low-level fight for us at this point in the game. I would have expected necromancers, fallen heroes, all that kind of mixed in. But instead it just kind of sought to overwhelm us with sheer numerical force. But that's not going to work against us. We do have the spear wall, the deadly spear wall. And we'll just let them come to us. We want to regain some of our fatigue by sitting still for a few turns. And since zombies don't suffer from fatigue, we can just go ahead and let them walk through the swamps for us. All the while taking shots. Like if this was a human on human battle, like if we were fighting a ton of raiders, this type of combat would be brutal for them. Especially if we had the ranged advantage. Making them come to us through the swamps, by the time they got to us they would be exhausted, and we probably would have emptied our quivers into them. So, some tactics you can use. The Geist obviously are the biggest threat, but they're really not much of a threat. Our resolve is much higher than it was the first time we ever faced a Geist. We can spear wall. Not too sure they'll even make it here. And before the Geist get in, we may want to pull out Ragnar's banner. Although it kind of sucks, Ragnar is currently standing next to Aracel, who is our sergeant. Do we just take these shots? You can get lucky and hit a Geist. pretty low chance shot. I'm going to use my crossbowman, however, to take shots at the armored zombies. Alright. Reload. Guys, I wouldn't blame you at all if you want to kind of fast forward through this fight. It's just going to be a lot of me talking, shooting zombies. It's pretty cathartic, but maybe doesn't make for the most riveting gameplay, and I completely understand that. I also don't see any point in giving them this patch of ground when we can force them to fight in the murky water. God, they're so slow. Thank goodness there's no necromancer, because everyone we kill would just be getting resurrected. Probably going to use like 300 crowns worth of arrows in this fight. Yeah, I don't even think we spear wall. Let's just get this going. Alright, the first scream going off. The second one hitting Isaac. Alright, they're finally stepping on real solid ground. They have no weapons. It's just, this is like a slaughter. It's just a slaughter at like slow motion. Dang, I was hoping to get that. That would have procced our berserk. And we'll spear wall up here now. I think we rally. Yeah. Bring Isaac a little bit closer in terms of his resolve. Starting to waver. Are you serious? Ramen. What are you doing? Ramen has done more damage than the zombies have to us at this point. Oh, great. Now we get an opportunity to use split. Perfect. And we're not going to move up. We're going to save the fatigue. See how they're hidden in the marshes? It can help to cover your advance. Spear wall. We spear wall up and we hope that they don't just like triple shriek him and force him to run. That would be awful. Or we're kind of just like sitting here going through the motions. Like, seriously, how did y'all like yesterday's episode? It was intense. The whole like strategy of surrounding Raymond to protect him and keep him alive with that like last second clutch bandage from Lance. I was seriously sitting here like sweating and fully clenched because I did not think we were going to make it out of that without losing a brother. The Necrosavants, fighting two groups of them like that back to back was certainly dangerous. Perhaps even like ill-advised. Because we're not quite like a hardcore like company yet. We're close, we're getting there. You know, our gear is still a little bit mishmashed. But the Necrosavants are just one of those enemies that really test your weaknesses. If our archers were all wearing like a very light armor, or didn't have some of the perks that they do have, I think we would have been in trouble. Pass, pass. Yeah, if they're content to chill back there, we are too. Well, I think I said in the last video too, if we had tried to fight them all... Oh wow, double route. If we had tried to fight them all, like if they hadn't fled the first group of 6 of them, I don't think we could have killed 10 Necrosavants and all of those auxiliaries. I don't think we could have done it. Okay, I think it's time to rally. We're going to rally with Aracel. And that brought back Yaku, which is good, but Isaac is still in trouble. We just step up. Yeah, I think so. Dang. Because this is still solid ground for us. We're going to use another split, and we decapitate that zombie, so we have nothing to fear. Perfect. And just no more fatigue to make use of the Berserk. You can move up. Okay, let's see what you got, Ragnar. Let's pull that out. And I think we can rally. How many distance? 4 tiles? Should help. Yes. So we managed to save Isaac. And I think we brought all of our brothers back from the brink. And Burnfried up here with his spear wall is just doing tons of work for us. Okay, out of ammo. No problem. Missing a few of these easy shots, but that's alright. I kind of just want to step in and start getting rid of these Geists. It's a bit impatient. We really do have a very strong position that we don't need to move from. So tactically this doesn't make sense, guys, but in terms of like not wasting all of your time, I think it makes some sense. See what the Geists do. They have pretty dangerous like armor-piercing attack, but yeah, I'm expecting them just to all scream. Oh, they got Lance. That kind of sucks. They got Lance, but if we can remove a lot of the threats around Lance, or even pick off a few of these Geists, he should be fine. Gotta love the spear wall, man. Really sucks, because Lance could do like a big roundhouse swing and probably hit a lot of these dudes. That's what I'm talking about. We can step up and take another shot. Perfect. So 2 guys down. And we'll take swings at the one that's in the marshes. Move up. Can we move up one more time? No. So we're going to rally, and that didn't pull Lance back, unfortunately. Alright. Big shots, big hits. And we are out of ammo, and I think we're out of fatigue as well. So one of the things I was remembering is that Edgel is a bowmaker. This whole time we probably could have been walking around with some wood in our inventory, and we could have been potentially triggering the bowmaker's like special... Oh, he managed to make it out without getting hit. That's pretty good. There's special like event. I think we only need 1 in our inventory, but we may want to pick up like 2. So if I remember right, he can make bows, right? And I think he can make something that's called like a mastercraft bow. I didn't look up the stats or anything. I don't know if it's better than, let's say, a war bow, but it may be like a better, slightly better than a hunting bow. And we're still using one of those on Ramen. So it might be worth it to find out if we come across a town that's selling the wood as a trading material. I also think there's a chance he makes like a wonky bow, which I don't think we've seen in the game yet. Just a horrible, terrible bow. There's really nothing more to tell than that. And the last guy's down. And with the last guy's down, I mean, this is really a fight that poses next to no threat whatsoever. I say that and then we're going to die to like some stupid zombie trash character. We can get out our long axe. And you missed. Oh my god. Wish we could bring Lance back, but it doesn't really matter. He can run at this point. Does not affect us. We'll move up. Nice. Come back to us, Lance. It's just a matter of cleaning up the chaff now. Nice hit. None of them resurrected, which feels pretty good. Can we see them all? Yes, yes we can. Okay. So there's none of them like hiding off in a bush somewhere. Can't move. Hopefully Hondo can take him out. Good. A decapitation is great. Perfect. And now we can lock him down so he can't escape. Make this take longer. One guy left. So this is going to be some easy crowns for us. Oh, that would have been awesome if it hit. I don't know if I've ever shot myself in the back and killed one of my own guys. That would be pretty miserable. I will say, kind of an unexpected benefit of the swamp right now is that even Lance running, he can't go very far. Alright, alright, alright. Almost. No. Nope. Nope, come on. I think this is scaredy. There we go. Alright, finally. We're done. Not exactly an epic battle. No good gear. A little bit of crowns for our trouble to add to our collection. And now we can head back to Simptonburg. It was honestly a nice little relief fight because it's going to allow us to heal up, to repair, which we really needed. Unfortunately, we're arriving back here at night. We'll wait just a little bit. Dawn. Perfect. Perfect timing. They no longer have terrified villagers, which is good if we wanted to pick someone up. Unfortunately, there's no one really to grab. A lot of really good lower tier backgrounds, though. Butchers and miners are pretty good. They're still having problems with greenskins, however, and they have no tools for us to buy. Their food situation kind of sucks. We can get some bread. That'll give us another day. Decent prices on ammo, probably because they have a Fletcher in town. So we'll take that. Unfortunately, they have really bad prices on that stuff. And their selling prices are pretty low. I think we can just get rid of some of the lower tier trash. I don't know if I want to quite sell this yet. You know what, we'll sell it. We will sell it. Okay, we can call that good. We'll see what this contract is, though it may not be anything. Brigand at large. See if they'll pay us more. Yeah, a tiny, tiny bit more. Forgotten Ruins. So they want us to go back into another place that we probably want to go into anyway. Yeah, here. So we'll take care of that. No big deal. So guys, when I fought that Lindworm in this like area out here, I honestly thought it would do something to trigger some kind of event with the watermill, but that's not the case. I could have sworn, you know, just based on kind of the vague description that the quest gives you, that you needed to like go out there and fight a dragon. Maybe there's a particular like garrison we haven't found yet. We're gonna get in here. Let's get in there and fight. Maybe there's a particular like garrison with some Lindworms, like a really tough fight that the game wants us to take that we just kind of like haven't found yet. Okay. This is actually a pretty tough raider fight. It's 12 on 12, of course, so I mean, just based on gear and experience, we have the advantage. But if we can get Hondo up on this high ground, they have some. Wow, they have a long sword here. We just need to make sure he has his lone wolf trait, and we really want to single out these archers if we can. Yeah, that was. I don't know what that dude was thinking. Let's focus so that we can hopefully trigger our berserk just like that. Dang, if we had killed him, we would have been sitting pretty. But we're going to spear wall now. Burnfried probably doesn't need to spear wall, but we definitely need to jump in with Lance. Make sure this longsword doesn't get in there unopposed. He can definitely step up and then try and like split or do a round swing on us. Either way. This isn't going to give us lone wolf, which sucks. No, it does. Okay, we're like perfectly 3 away. Alright, my bad. That's actually great. Now we have a 90% chance to hit with split, and we're going to hit both of them. Killed one, triggered berserk, but because we jumped up, we used up just a little bit too much. Dang, that sucks. We probably normally, if we didn't have to get up to the high ground to do this, we normally would have been able to kill both of them in one move, or one turn rather, which feels pretty good. Ooh, what a shot. Get out of here with that. We hit him from downtown. Ugh. Gotta hate crossbows on the other side of the battlefield. Do we want to step out? No. We can't take an action, but we could potentially, if we stepped out here, we would prevent him from using any of his AoE attacks. But we ourselves could not attack. So it may not be worth it. He can't step in here without trying to bypass our spear wall. Wow, and he chose not to move. Interesting. Okay, and he's of course protected. Very low % chance shot. We can get him. And we miss everything. This is our next target right here, this crossbowman. And he lands a stun. Oh no. Okay. Dang, that was a 61% chance shot. We need a kill so that we can trigger Berserk. Damn. Let's wait a second here. I think we move in with Aerocell. Force him to be in melee. We leave them somewhat vulnerable, but I think we can cover them with Burnfried if we just step down 1. So move here. Okay. Alright, do your stuff, Lance. Ooh, big shot. Crushed his armor and took half his life. He tried to move, and he paid for it. But there's still one dangerous crossbowman on the battlefield. We'll shield wall up here. Alright, and he decided to move instead of taking a shot. Perfect. Nice. So, started off, this could have been a pretty scary battle for us. You can see how focus fire from crossbowmen is very dangerous. Yeah, you're not going anywhere. Aerocell is like a murderer. Let's move this tree. There's another shrub. Okay. I'd love to know how many kills Aerocell has gotten for us in this playthrough. It's a ton. I think you can look that up. Let's just get out of the way and make sure Hondo maintains his lone wolf status, and we're fine. No one's escaping. There we go. We'll just move forward. come and reinforce just in case. No reason not to, other than like to save time. But we're playing a video game. Alright, he whipped out his falchion. Okay. Take some shots. He's wearing lamellar armor, which we know is 90. Just need one more hit. Guys, if you're like me, I was just kind of thinking about it while I'm got my brain on autopilot during this fight. If you're like constantly looking for like awesome Netflix shows to watch, I've seen a lot of shows, guys. I watch probably way too much TV, but the one I just decided to give a chance last night was Happy. If you've ever seen like Law and Order SVU, Stabler, he plays like a whacked out cop. I'm like on episode 2 right now, dudes. It is one of the most insane shows I've ever watched. And I would recommend it. Okay, so we got some good loot. Salt we can sell for a bit. Some tools to help us repair. And really nothing we can wear or keep. Very, very easy fight for us. No big deal. Kind of those... Both were like little perfect contracts for us. Come here, kill them, come back. Come here, kill them, come back. And we cleared out 2 areas that we were probably just going to do on our own anyway. And we got paid like $2 grand to do it. Actually more than that. That feels good. And they're still being marauded by greenskins. Let's see if their prices are any different. Wow, their prices went down a lot. Oh my god. I think we have to buy some stuff. Hold on. Let's see what our selling prices are. Okay, this place sells salt, so they don't want the salt. We shouldn't try and sell that to them. Check our shield, 16. So the sell prices here aren't great, but I still think there's not much reason to hold on to these things, especially if we're going to make a big purchase right now. Another longsword. God, I love the longsword. I love the way it looks. It has a really cool aesthetic. We're going to get rid of all that stuff. I think that's it in terms of arms and armor. And we could potentially get rid of like maybe another brain. Poison gland. And we'll hold off on some of these big ticket items. We don't want to get rid of that stuff quite yet. There'll be better places to sell it. Yeah, I think we need to bite the bullet and get a heavy crossbow and maybe try and make the master bow. Which, like I said, I think it's better than the hunting bow, but maybe not quite as good as the war bow. I could be wrong. It could be as good as the war bow. It could be as good as the hunting bow. I don't remember, but I know I've triggered that once before. We have some injuries. We have some wounds. And we don't have any quests here, so we're going to have to move anyway. It's not a big deal. Okay, so... Man, could we even buy both? We could, but I don't think we should. I think we should just stick with the plan. Who has better ranged? For now, it's Greenphobe, but I would expect Ragnar to overtake him with his 2 stars. So let's buy our first heavy crossbow. A heavy crossbow with a crank that can propel bolts over medium distances and is effective even against heavily armored targets. Requires almost a full turn to reload. Check the damage on that. 50 to 70 as opposed to 40 to 60. So it's a full 20 points of damage higher, just like the warbow is over the hunting bow. Very similar. Let's go ahead and switch it up. Let's give it to Ragnar. I favor Ragnar pretty hard. No one has claimed Greenphobe yet. I'm surprised. For those of you out there who have subbed and haven't decided to give me a name suggestion, please do. It adds some flavor to the run. At some point, these guys are going to start dying when we start taking on really hard enemies. And I would love to have a supply of names to go through to get us through the hard times. Okay, so we're down a bit on stuff. And we'll buy the salt. That's an excellent price on salt. And a really good price on all of that. Did we ever buy another bandage to replace on Lance from his like life-saving bandage? Okay, we already had one. That's good. Yeah, the prices here got really good, really fast. We already have a ton of cheese, and we picked up venison. Yeah, we're good. We're good, we're good, we're good. We need to just roll out of here. And I kind of want to go to a place that has a taxidermist. Yes, because I want to show you guys the new stuff that we can make. And potentially get into some different fights. Oh, wow, what are we chasing here? These are big beast footprints. Oh, God. Okay. They came out of the dark. We don't want to fight them at night. We will happily fight them during the day. A plethora. So 15 is quite a bit. Depending on how we manage them and what kind of terrain we get, this could be a very easy fight or a very difficult one. There's no... I don't think this is a level 3. I think this is a level 2. Yeah. There's... For those of you who've never seen these ghoul type enemies before, they come in 3 stages. The little bald guy, stage 1, super easy to kill. Stage 2, much tougher, probably twice as tough. And they do more damage, I think. And stage 3, I don't know if there is one on the field yet, but they can grow from cannibalizing their dead. So we want to be very careful. We killed him. We don't want to do that. We wanted basically to spread damage around to prevent them from eating their own. But one way to combat that is to step up onto their corpses after you're able to like gun them down. And then in which case they can't jump on top, eat it, heal, and then transform into a bigger one, which is what they're going to do. I mean, we kind of inadvertently gave them lots and lots of corpses. So we're going to move up. These are dangerous enemies and we're moving up against them. We could have honestly sat back, gotten rid of our ranged components, pulled out our pikes, and then let them come to our spear wall. That would have been probably an extremely brutal and efficient tactic. And we're going to lock these guys down so that they can't jump. And we'll see how many we can draw away with Hondo. He's like a monster at killing those guys. But a very dangerous thing about them is that the tier 3 versions of them can eat you. So for those of you who watch this series, from start to finish, you'll have heard me say all this before. This is mostly for the benefit of those of you who are maybe picking this up for the first time. There's always something about these enemies. At first glance they seem easy. We killed 3 of them with our opening salvos, and had we been trying to, we could have killed probably 4 or 5 of them. But that's just not how you play against this enemy. And I think what they tried to do with the new DLC was to include new enemies that have new ways of fighting against. The witches, and their charming mechanic is very different. Maybe a little frustrating, perhaps. But it is different. It forces you to play a completely new way than you're used to. So I can appreciate it, even if I don't quite like it. We're just taking the shots we can so that we don't have to move up. And if we miss and hit someone else, we don't particularly care. We just want to make sure we're stepping over the bodies. We're getting the kills. We're even dividing them up pretty nicely so that they don't have any type of surround on us. Nice. Dang. Well, Lance, you're a dragon pounder, but you are certainly not a ghoul pounder. I'm sad to say. It's alright, we can't all be perfect. We can't all just like pound ghouls. Dang. We want to get in and amongst them so that they can't retreat without being hit. So they're going to try to run, but they're going to have to try and escape our zone of control. There's only one of them that's still fighting, and he's actually doing a ton of damage to Burnfried. Lucky for us, we are still good to go. Nice. Step down, take a shot. That should free up Lance to go do something else. Nice. Okay. Here we go. Aerosol. Yeah, we didn't allow a single one of them to eat one of their buddies, which is pretty huge. They can snowball fairly quickly if you just kind of let them do what they want. That's why I made kind of the conscious decision to move up and to kind of claim the ground that I knew they would want to be on. Fortunately for us, at this point in the game, our armor is really overwhelming for these types of enemies. Yeah, this type of fight in the very early game would have been difficult. Berserk also plays kind of a key role in making sure you can overwhelm them quickly. Burnfried has a level. Yeah, even more horns and brains, which is kind of cool because we're going to a taxidermist. I don't know if that'll help us make anything we couldn't already make, but, you know, whatever. Free experience, free crowns, and we need to cross here at this little, like, ford area. Fjord. Gotta love all the J's in those words. Fjord. Okay, there's a few areas around here that have taxidermists. Friedewald. Could have sworn. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What was that? Okay, Brigand's getting handled thoroughly. We don't need to do anything. During the war, there are just so many, there's so many big companies running around that can fend for themselves. Raid their lands for 5 days. Destroy as much as you can, whatever hurts their ability to wage war. Okay, raid and burn down places. Destroy any caravans or patrols. Return after 5 days. So let's say we need some time to think about this, because I think House Steinwall is not the ones we want to fight. No, it is. Ah, what's up? Finally, guys, we get a... yeah, I sounded stupid there. So, yeah, House Steinwall. That's the house we want to fight. It's the one I care the least about, based on like their placement and the overall like quality of some of their cities. This one's honestly pretty good. Let's see. Let's take a look at what we're missing. If we an armor and a weaponsmith. Can we move? Yep. Armor and a weaponsmith. They actually have really good cities now that I look at them. They just don't hold a lot of the land. And a lot of these cities have been like messed up by the war. I value unique buildings, armors, and weaponsmiths pretty highly because they're going to allow us to get into later game gear. So, I mean, we can potentially do this war. You know, we go to the final battle quest, and then these people hate us, but eventually we can work our way back into their good graces. It takes a long time, however, probably longer than we have in the playthrough to accomplish that goal. But let's go ahead and camp out, fast forward. We'll wait till daytime so we can take advantage of the taxidermist, and we shall see what we're going to do. I'm actually surprised at how many like armors and weaponsmiths they have up there. Okay, happy powder. That's one of the other things that we can make. So Acidflask, super cheap to make, and I think they understand that we're giving up an extremely valuable ingredient to make this. So let's take a look at what it does. Reduces the target's armor by 20% each turn for 3 turns. Has a 33% chance to hit bystanders at the same or lower height level as well. Powerful. A flask filled with the concentrate of a lindworm's acidic blood. It is highly corrosive to many materials and burns through armor quickly. Yeah, we're going to craft that. We're going to make at least one of those. That's a pretty awesome thing to have. And the other thing... Where is it? Where is it? Can we make it? I thought we could. Protective runes and sigils. Okay, that's what we want to make. So let's take a look at this. It costs 500 to make up front. Protective runes and sigils written on parched skin and emitting an unsettling aura. give the following effects. Plus 15 resolve at morale checks against fear, panic, or mind control effects. This seems to me like it's going to remove like the patchwork armor. Let's craft it. That's a cool, unique thing. And it permanently unlocks kind of the recipe for us. So now we know we have it. We can also make a poisoned oil. And we can make an antidote. Should we just make 2 acid flasks? I don't think there's anything else in the game you can do with this besides make these and sell them. So I think we're going to craft it. 50 is like nothing, and at the end of the day, the potion itself is worth 400. We would obviously never be able to sell it for that, but these are very powerful items. And we just unlocked a lot of new recipes that we don't have to like guess at whenever we roll into a taxidermist. Okay, Burnfried. Right away, Burnfried has to have Battleforged. Like, not sure what else quite yet, but Battleforged is super important. He finally gets a nice 3 roll in melee skill, but it's a little too late, Burnfried. I'm sorry. You're just not going to make it, buddy. He also doesn't have anything in his like item slot. He should at least have a dog, but we did lose dogs in the Necrosavant battle, as well as the Lindworm fight, I think. So that could be why he doesn't have one. Man, a 5 roll in HP. A 5 roll here, which also contributes to, you know, Colossus. This is probably like giving him 6 or 7 hit points with one perk, or with one talent point here. And 7 HP feels a lot better than 2 range defense. 3 resolve also looks pretty good considering he's only sitting at 50. But I think we're going to take the HP. Yeah, it ended up giving us 6. That feels okay. We still have 1 perk left to get. So Steel Brow would make him much more resilient. Taking those headshots. Always a risk. We could also get him Underdog. He is kind of on the edge of our formation, so he's constantly in danger of being surrounded. And in the last several fights, he has been surrounded. And it's been, you know, pretty rough for him. Steel Brow is just such a good effect. So are things like Recover. Bags and Belts, 9 lives also wouldn't be bad. Taunt is an ability that I don't think I've ever taken, but I could see that being very good. Maybe in another playthrough. Also Rotation. Killing Frenzy. I mean, these are all the more powerful abilities we can get. Essentially, Headhunter and Killing Frenzy are kind of what I'm looking at. Even Indomitable wouldn't be bad on a tank character. So 50% damage reduction and immunity to being stunned, knocked back, or grabbed for 1 turn. But I would think this is much better on a Lone Wolf character because in order for this to be useful, you have to know that your character is going to be that. So in this instance, Burnfried is going to be the target 100% of an attack. And with a Lone Wolf who's surrounded and all alone, you know that the next attack or next series of attacks is going to be directed at them. And you pop Indomitable and, you know, you're good to go. But if Burnfried gets surrounded, there's a chance they're hitting Egil or Aerosol, so it's not quite as effective. And that's really my thought process here. So honestly, I'm leaning towards Steel Brow or 9 lives. And the thing is, 9 lives only procs when you're going to die. But Steel Brow is effective throughout an entire battle. And that's what's going to lend me to make this choice here. So Burnfried the Solid, earning his name, becoming even more solid with Battleforged plus Steel Brow. He is now an absolute tank. Thanks to Spear Mastery, Executioner, and Crippling Strikes, he can also do damage, as well as Berserk and Fearsome. A lot of our brothers are able to trigger morale checks. So, not very useful against the Undead, as well as Crippling Strikes or Executioner, actually pretty poor against the Undead. But against every living target, our build is great. And the Spear Wall itself kind of fills our weakness when it comes to fighting Undead. So, okay. I kind of want to make this just to unlock the recipe, and I think we've had a pelt sitting in our inventory forever, but that's not really necessary. What we need to do is check the marketplace, see if we can get some tools, and we can't. Oh, we can also get quality wood. And I think we'll just sell this. Let's just get that out of our inventory. Make a little cash back. Let's buy some wood. We'll buy all the tools. I'm really tired of not having any. And 6 more days worth of provisions. That's pretty good. Can we get up to 7? Yes, we can. I think we can sell off some of this stuff. If you're wondering like why I'm not just selling off all of it, it's honestly just because there are much better crafting things that we can make that require us to have those. It's not readily apparent now, but if we pick up some nets, we're going to want the gossamer to make reinforced nets. They're also used to make like padding. I think it's some kind of padding, reinforcement for the armor. The horns do things, the brains do things. All of these crafting ingredients. When the time comes that we're going to wish we had them, we're going to really wish we had them. And they're going to be hard to find and replace. So we'll just hold on to them for now. What is this little contract? To the west. We're going to decline that. Alright, this is kind of a pivotal moment for us. The only thing that's keeping me from like snap doing the raiding is that I've really just realized how good some of these cities are up here. Like Tarsdorf is a nothing city, it might as well not even exist, unfortunately. But these 3 here, Windfest, Eichenberg, and Horngard have like everything I need. We need to be pretty careful what we do here. Let's see. Kennel. Are there any unique buildings? There are lots of kennels. Good bit of taxidermy. Yeah, there's really nothing that unique here, and they really have pretty crummy buildings altogether. Is there a kennel up here? Dang, no kennels. You know what, guys? I think we're gonna. I've been saying this whole time we're gonna like help these guys beat these guys, but I think we're gonna help these guys beat these guys. Their cities are so much better. Let's check our relations. Yeah, they like us so much more, though. We're so close to getting friendly with them. We'll hold off. We'll hold off. I think if you don't know what to do, the best thing you can do is to try. Are you serious? That was like a suicide run. We can always come back and take it, or take a very similar thing. My main thought is I just don't want to get cut off from all those armorers and all of the weaponsmiths. They're kind of our lifeblood into getting into late game gear. And while we don't have a ton of crowns right now, we will. I mean, there's going to be a point where we're just swimming in it. The one thing, well, the 2 things I don't want to miss out on, these are the things that I'm considering, are the kennels, which I love getting armored war dogs, so I'm thinking I'm just going to go grab some from their kennels and then like roll out. But also, Schlomberg seems to be like the place to get adventuring nobles, which are a really good top tier brother type. And I would hate to alienate that because I don't know if there's a better option in these other places. But anyway, let's roll up here. Brigands. We'll pause, see what they have. And I think we should take this fight. It's like a free raider fight. We should take it. Wow, nice shot. Nice shots. We honestly could have waited because we pretty much knew that they would step up here. So we're getting close to the end of today's episode. And I know we haven't done anything like spectacular. That kind of sucks. We had a chance to get into the noble house from a perspective that perhaps was maybe... it was maybe, perspective is not the right word, that was maybe the best side of the battle, but I'm rethinking it because I really don't want to be like alienated from all of those great cities. Of course, we're focusing down the ranged fighters. Get that kill and hope to get another. Yeah, that's brutal. Burn Free can probably move up, but let's do that. Take a step forward there. And we'll move back. Okay. And we've corralled them exactly like we wanted to. Right into a nice little kill box, where the only easy targets are heavily armored Lance, Dragon Pounder, and company. Want to kill anyone with a javelin, a bow, or a pike. That feels good. This one dude is blocking a lot of our efforts here. Oh man, that was pretty brutal. We'll just take a Hail Mary on him, and it worked. Take another? Okay. I'll take a miss that kills a guy. I'll take that all day long. And we'll get in here. That'll force him to switch from his javelins. That dude is not safe. And we can take an aim shot, perhaps? No. No, we cannot. We'll just help get these surrounds. I'm sitting here, guys. I'm feeling like a little queasy. Everyone in my house right now, two of the three people in my house currently are sick, vomiting. I think my son picked up some kind of bug from school, and I'm starting to feel it. I was feeling it last night, and I'm sitting here right now, and I'm feeling it pretty bad. Wish me luck. I know I don't talk about myself a ton, but I've had a few medical issues in my life. I know some of you out there are probably dealing with the same or something similar. But I went through a long period of time where I struggled with ulcerative colitis, and ultimately, went through the whole process of having a colostomy bag and eventually having my entire colon removed. So if you're dealing with some kind of medical issue, I want you to know, I've been there as well. And if you ever want to talk about stuff like that on the channel, please feel free. There are all sorts of support groups and things for people going through medical problems. And, I think maybe as people that play a lot of video games, oftentimes, maybe we're not the most healthy people. And it's nice to have someone to talk to about it. So if you ever want to talk to me, even just tell me, hey, I've dealt with similar types of issues or something completely different. Feel free to let me know, and maybe you never know, as our channel as it grows and more people join, we could end up with a community of people that could help support you. So yeah, feel free to share, guys. So yeah, I brought that up basically just to say, if I start throwing up, that's miserable for me because I've already got issues in that department. So cross your fingers for me. Hope that that doesn't become a thing. Because if I start throwing up, and you start hearing me do the while I'm casting, it probably won't be very pleasant. I know I just did it. Sorry. Some people have weak gag reflexes. This is a horrible place to sell, so we're not going to. We're going to try and walk right by. We'll buy some meat, put us into the 8 days category. I like that. And I think we're just going to get the heck out of here maybe after we see what this quest is. Monstrosities. Okay, it's spiders. Oh, weak. No. Forget it. We're going to head out. We're going to go to Wolf's Wall, and we're going to spend some of our crowns, of which we don't have many, but we have a lot of things to sell. And we're going to try and get a couple more armored dogs. Do we have any before we go? While I'm remembering. No. We have some brothers who lost dogs. We need to replace those. I like to have at least 6 armored war dogs. 8 is probably ideal, but then you're giving up some of the utility of some of the other items you could potentially be using. And I totally understand that. Let's go ahead and might as well camp. I don't think there's any reason to. We're fine. We'll head into this kennel. And great prices on dogs as well. And we'll see what the prices here are to sell. Not the best, but not terrible. I think we can come in here and sell all of this stuff. Arming sword sells for a decent price. And there we go. We're back up to where we were. Feels good. Let's see who needs a dog. So we knew Burn Free did. Who else? Hondo, of course, still has Battle Brother. Lance. Lance needed a dog. Raymond needs a dog as well. So let's buy one more dog. Perfect, they had another armored dog for us. And we're going to call it with that, guys. That was today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't subscribed already, please consider subscribing. We'll level up, who is that? Ragnar. We'll level him up at the beginning of the next episode. Please like the video if you did actually enjoy it. If not, do what you got to do. Comment, like I said, we can talk, guys. We can talk in the comments. Don't even worry about that. Yeah, I'm not a big YouTuber, so I enjoy meeting new people, and I have the time to talk, so feel free. Alright guys, that's going to be it, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.